What I'm going to speak to you about is building your tribe and converting that tribe into customers. So basically, getting them to get out their credit cards and pay you for your services. I know this is a huge struggle, so I'm going to talk to you about how to make your following love you. So I don't care which traffic generation method you decide to pick, okay? I'm going to teach you the success habits to get your tribe to love you and pay you for your services, and at the end, love you for the services you're providing to them. Then we're going to cover how to understand your market, because if you're not understanding their needs, their desires, the results they want to get, it's going to be very hard to convert them. And it's important that you're creating content around the needs of your market. And then we're going to talk about webinars so that you can build rapport quickly and qualify your leads into buyers. Why I want you to pay attention today? So I'm going to teach you strategies that will help you close your audience as fast as possible. It's very important that you're building your list, yes, that you're growing your network on a social media platform, be it Facebook, Instagram. But then what I really want you to kind of get from this presentation is I want you to leave feeling comfortable converting your audience as quickly as possible. So this stuff you can apply to your DA business, but it's also stuff that you can promote in the future. So say you want to have side income streams or you want to create your own products, then this stuff works, okay? It works for anything. And it's stuff that I've applied to my business to promote my own products as well. And I've made even up to 13,000 within 10 days. And I'm not saying this to brag. I just want you to know that what I'm going to teach you is actually working. So let's talk about what you're probably missing so that you avoid doing these actual, I want you to avoid doing the stuff that's not working. So you're not taking the time to be personal and you're diving straight into the pitch. In fact, that's a message I got. So you probably get this from time to time. People ask you about, you're open to a network marketing opportunity. Now, if you get this, understand people hate being sold to, and I guess you hate being sold to as well. So it's very important that you avoid being a cheesy marketer. It's not good for your brand. It doesn't position you as an authority, and it just doesn't work, okay? Also, you're not being a problem solver, okay? It's very important you understand that you cannot be salesy, but if you want to be positioned as an authority, you need to understand the needs of your market, the pains of your market, the struggles, and you need to solve their problems. And last but not least, and I know this is a huge fear most of you have, you're not using live platforms. There's a huge, right now, people have lost credibility in the industry because there are so many marketers that have been doing things the wrong way, and people have lost credibility. So we need to take it up a notch and to get, to stand out from the noise and get people to trust us. We need to start getting on live platforms. And when I say live platforms, I mean Facebook Lives. And for those of you that have met me before or followed me on social media, I'm always on Facebook Live. And I do that because it just builds rapport so quickly. And same goes to webinars, and there's Instagram Live as well. So for those of you that maybe follow Jason Stone and want to follow his methods with Instagram, it's very important that you're getting on Instagram Live as well. Quick background about who I am. So for those of you who don't know me, before I got into the industry, I was a miserable HR professional. I hated it with a passion. I spent 3 years doing it, and I got fired politely at one point. Because I was just tired of being a number, being treated like crap. And I'm sure many of you feel that way in your day jobs. And that was me. And when I got fired, because I had no warning, so we had to agree that I was let go, I had no desire to getting back into the workforce. Absolutely no desire. I just knew that if I had to get back into HR, we're going to have the same process again. I get bored. Maybe I get fired again, and I was like, no, this is not going to work for me. So I decided instead, and this was back in 2014, instead I'm going to get a temp job, and I risked having a gap in my CV, because once you get out of a career, especially in Malta, it's a very small island, you have to be a bit careful with your career there. I decided instead of getting back in HR, I'll just start working on my business and doing something I actually love. And it took me a good 14 months. So I spent 14 months, I had to develop my mindset, I started completely from scratch. And when I say from scratch, not just building a brand online and learning the fundamentals to succeed, but my mindset was below zero. So that was one thing, and yeah, but all I cared about was living an incredible life. And I gave everything, including my social life. Like for me, going out to have a coffee with friends was a waste of time. That's how bad I wanted it. After work, I go straight home, get in bed on my laptop, work with my laptop sits next to me. Every second I got, I was obsessed about my business. Instead of listening to audios at work, I'd be listening to training videos. So the desire was there, and provided you have a desire to make this work, you'll get there too. As a matter of fact, paradise awaits you. And in fact, this has been my life for the last 2 years, traveling like a complete maniac. I've been to over 10 destinations last year. I promised to stop traveling this year, but that didn't work. I've already been to Miami, and now I'm in Hawaii. It just took me over 24 hours to get here. But I couldn't miss out on this opportunity to give value to you guys, so I'm truly honored to be up here. So that could be you. And these are just a few screenshots of earnings I had with DA, so you actually know that what's coming in the next few slides has been working for me. So every time I travel, like I was in San Diego, the coaches would upsell for me. It was amazing, and over 3K a day. That happened quite a few times. Every time I travel, I make money, and honestly, it's thanks to the coaches of DA. I don't know what I'd do without them. So you're definitely in the right place, guys. And one more thing, I'm no different. I really am no different. I started as a complete nobody. I struggled. I didn't know what I was doing, and I had a lot of battles. So in my personal life as well, I didn't have many people supporting me. I remember breaking up with my ex at the time. It was a 3.5-year relationship. Zero support, so I'm glad I got rid of that. I had huge battles with my mindset. It was hard for me to invest. I was a freebie seeker at first. So those freebie seekers we talk about sometimes, the tire kickers, I was one of those. So like you can see, I started completely average, but I just wanted it so bad, and I just wanted methods that were gonna work, okay? And like I said, you're in the right place, so good news, well done to you. I truly admire you for investing your time and your money to be here today, because this is gonna change your life. Okay, let's get cracking. So raise your hands if you started building a list or a network on a social media platform. Amazing. Okay, if you haven't, for those that didn't raise your hands, make sure that you get cracking on this, because if you don't have leads, then it's pointless getting on webinars and trying to convert those leads into sales, right? Without leads, you cannot do anything. You can't test, it's pointless sending out emails, so this is the number one thing. No matter how you decide to build your following, the number one thing you need to master is relationship building. This is something I learned from Eric Worre. Sometimes I just watch his videos to get motivated, and he was saying, the one thing that all industry leaders have in common is they master relationship building. That is the number one thing they have in common, relationship building. So keep this in mind. If you want to be a great marketer, forget pitching, forget your selfish desires of wanting to make money online. Before you bring people first and become a people's person, there's no way you're going to make money. So master relationship building, that is key. All right? So you want to be educating your market every single day. Okay? You want to do it through lives, through content. I'm going to show you webinars. I'm going to show you how to get set up with your first webinar. You have the steps so that you can, execute your first webinar successfully. Next, you want to make yourself human, make yourself relatable, show people you understand their struggles, talk about your own struggles, because people will relate to that, believe me. That's why you want to talk about your story. Okay, you learned about branding yesterday, and you have to be using your pain points, your struggles, the adversity you've been facing in your story, because that's really going to get people relating to you. All right, you need to get people emotional, and you do that through your stories. Even John mentioned yesterday, people buy based on emotion. So if you can make people emotional through your story, they're going to glue to you, because they see that human factor, they relate to you, and they're going to feel so comfortable around you. So that's a picture of me. I did that on social media. So the aim of that was not because I wanted to put myself with a face mask on social media. I did that because I know people would feel comfortable around me. In fact, I had guys putting their own pictures with face masks on, and I was quite surprised. I thought women would do that, but I had the guys doing it. Guys got more excited about it. So what's working these days to sell faster? Okay, Facebook Live, all right? Number one. There's also Instagram Live. And you want to be sending traffic to these, so no matter how you build your list, let's say you're building your list with Facebook ads or with YouTube ads, you're able to send people, you can take the link of your Facebook Live recording, okay, and you can send people to that. So I'm always sending my people to my lives every single day. Every time I do a live, I send my list to that live, because I know that people want to engage with me in the moment. People love my lives. I know they do. That's why I keep doing them. And I know that people that are getting hooked on using Facebook Live, that they're progressing too, because they're using a platform that's allowing people to engage with them in the moment. The second one is getting on the phone, okay? If you're uncomfortable with that, that's cool. You've got the coaches doing that for you with DA. So if provided you're promoting digital altitude, they're going to get on the phone with your leads.